Dear professors, dear professors,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, the guest is arriving and he is able to join now. There is some network issue in his campus, it seems. He will join within short while. We will wait for a few more minutes because even participants also only 40 after post lunch. We will have for 5 more minutes. Please bear with us. Thank you.
Devanayan, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Is it
What is
audible
that?
for you? Yes, sir. Shall we start, sir?
We shall start. I will share the screen.
Wait, sir. Wait a minute. We'll introduce you and then you can start, sir.
But it is asking me to, someone has to permit me to share.
Wait, sir. Wait, sir. Wait for 5 more minutes.
Okay.
We'll
Okay.
give you the authorization.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to all. Welcome back for the session 3 on AICTE Atal FDP on electric vehicles, research issues and challenges. It's my pleasure to introduce our session guest, Dr. S. Devanayan. Dr. S. Devanayan is a director and a professor. He holds a PhD in GRI MHRD. He has over 29 years of experience in field of academics and industry. He has filed over 62 patents and has invented 72 products. He has also developed over 64 innovative engineering products. He is specialized in the field of academics, research, admission, patent, funding, consultancy, entrepreneurs development, solar energy, automation, electric vehicles, charging station, self-sustainable projects, DPRs for EV projects with solar charging station. He has published 27 papers. He has organized 10 technical events like seminar, symposium, exhibition, and conference. He has presented 4 projects in ISRO, DST, MNRE, EDII, and TNSCST. He also has provided over 46 consultancy services and has signed 10 MOU. He has attended various television interviews and press meets. It's a privilege to have here for this session, sir. Thank you. This session is yours, sir. Please.
Thank you so much for introducing.
Now you can share, sir.
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay. So can I start?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Devanayan, a specialist in sustainable energy, inclusive of solar power systems and as well as electric vehicles, right from the manufacturing, designing, and operational services and research too. About myself, I think ma'am has explained very clearly. I am working as a director in one of the university, Medical University in Chennai, and also I am a director for my own company. And we have a company in Coimbatore as well as in Delhi. Our company's main activities concentration more on solar energy projects and electric vehicle projects, which is a basic element in sustainable energy development projects. So I received some award from the Vice President of India for the best PhD. This is for additional information. So well, we go directly to the electric vehicle technology. So here I'm going to show you, or I'm going to teach you something. What is electric vehicle technology? What is the business behind it, and what kind of knowledge one should have to go inside this industry? How to become a best employee in electric vehicle industries, and how to become an entrepreneur. All these things we are going to cover in this 2-hour session. So this is the present serious threats of the developing world, like energy security and depletion of fossil fuels. Energy security in the sense, like for example, you take India, we have a lot of power deficiency. For example, At present, India producing only 360 gigawatts of electricity, but India required more than 960 gigawatts, but the installed capacity is only 700 gigawatts, but we are able to produce only 360 to 500 gigawatts. This is the reason why we have opened the power cuts industries as well as the domestic region. And depletion of fossil fuel is also another threat, because India is one of the largest country across the globe, of course, fastest growing economy. And we are in top 5 globally. We are in top 5 in various things, including producing carbon. So at present, the world is having a serious threat on fossil fuels, like it is depleting so fastly, especially from the Middle East. So the time to go for the alternative vehicles. Otherwise, it's very hard to. Are you able to hear me?
Sir, little bit louder, sir.
Okay, okay. So, by the way, are you able to see my screen as well as now it is audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, environmental degradation, global warming, employment opportunities, ecological unbalance, these are all the big serious threats at present we human are facing. And of course, electric vehicle technology will do almost solutions to all these threats. See, if you look at the toxic level of the world, if you see the world or toxic level, comparing to the African continents, the rest of the continents, we have really spoiled the earth. You all know that we are facing a serious problem on global warming. Unless otherwise, we go for sustainable energy like electric vehicle technology and solar powered electric vehicle charging station or solar power plants or any other renewable resources, we are not going to save this earth. If we really want to save this earth, we have to go for the renewable sources. This is the toxic level of the world. And comparing to the fossil fuel lifetime, oil, natural gas, coal, all these things, is limited only available. So soon, I mean, we have to go inside the different technology, especially alternative fuel, like solar and technology, like automobile technology, electric vehicle. So look at thermal power plant. See, electric vehicle is closely associated to electric power generation. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Kindly requested to mute, please. Participants are kindly requested to mute.
Okay. So, see, in case of thermal power plant, see, I will refresh some of the basic fundamentals before we go inside the electric vehicle technology, because electric vehicle technology is a wonderful technology, but unless otherwise it is properly handled. But if you don't properly handle, then of course we are going to have a serious problem. Like for example, if you take a thermal power plant, it produces only 33% electricity, and rest of the 67% will goes to the atmosphere as CO2 and pollution. In case if we increase our electric vehicle across the country, so the demand for the electric power is very high. At present itself, we need 900 gigawatts. Suppose if our country transforms, the whole country transforms into electric vehicle, then it doubles. That much thermal power plant, it is highly impossible to rebuild across the nation. Unless otherwise, we go for a decentralized solar power electric vehicle charging station. Unless otherwise, we go for a highly efficient electric vehicles. This is would like to say. See, for example, again, electric mobility for India. If you see that, these are all the cities across the country. Gurugram, Ghaziabad, Faizabad. Actually, one important information I would like to share here. As far as electric vehicle technology is concerned, for the world, it is 25 years old. Before 25 years old, the technology came. Of course, in 1800, the technology came, but I'm talking about commercially. Commercially, it is available in the world before 25 years itself. But in India, it enters in 2012. It enters in 2000, even you can say 2010. But in Tamil Nadu, it enters in this year only. See, northern India, see, I visited many times Delhi, Rajasthan, and many states, and I have seen in 2010, in 2009 itself, I have seen so many electric vehicles, electric rickshaws, electric bikes, and electric cars across the roads, North Indian roads. But as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, our government has given permission for electric vehicle, especially in commercial and as well as two-wheeler, commercial three-wheeler and personal two-wheeler. They have given permission recently, I think March 2021 only they have given this permission. This is the present situation. And of course, I have started my research in electric vehicle in 2006 itself. So these are all the mobility, and of course, there is a very big and massive business potential and industrial revolution in electric mobility. So this is what renewable energy, solar, biomass, hydroelectric, wind, ocean, geothermal. Based on this, we have to set up our electric vehicle infrastructure. If you don't follow, if you don't set up our EV infrastructure, especially charging infrastructure for electric vehicle, we are going to still increase the temperature of the globe, and it will definitely spoil the air. So this situation will soon arrive. No fuel situation definitely will arrive very soon. So electric vehicle will replace all these things. One fine morning, we may say that the petrol and diesel and IC engine will be kept in the museum. And again, the reason why I am often emphasizing to go for a different infrastructure for electric vehicle. If you go for a thermal power station, so to take 1 kilowatt hour of electricity, you have to produce like 27 or 25 or 26 times more than what you are having. Suppose if your thermal power plant is 100 kilometers distance or 200 kilometers distance, it has to travel. It has generation loss and transmission loss and distribution loss. There are so many losses in this. Say, for example, if you take a two-wheeler of electric vehicle, for one charge, it consumes approximately 3 units of electricity. Okay. Suppose if you take a three-wheeler of auto rickshaw, passenger or loader whatsoever, it will consume approximately, say about 5 units to 7 units, depending upon the category. Because in three-wheeler electric vehicle, there are two categories. One is L3 category and L5 category. L3 category is 25 km per hour speed, and L5 category is 50 to 60 km per hour speed. And 3 kilowatt to 5-6 kilowatt motors have been used in L5 category, and 1 kilowatt motors are used in L3 category. So in this, this three-wheeler will consume 5 units in case of L3 category. In case of L5 category, it consumes 7 to 8 units, even sometimes 10 units also. In case, if you take this electric charge from the grid, just think about if the vehicle consumes 10 units, 10 kilowatt hour, then thermal power generation, they have to produce around 250 kilowatt hour. So that is why the global warming is taking place seriously. So to avoid that, it is better to go for own charging station, which is powered by the solar or which is powered by any other renewable resources like biogas based electric generators you can set up, or you can have your own home sized windmills, which cost around only 30 to 40,000 rupees. Own biogas also it costs not more than 50 to 60,000 rupees. For own solar power charging station, it doesn't cost more than 50,000 rupees. So it is better to produce your own infrastructure for electric vehicle. I would suggest to have 1 or 2 electric vehicle at every homes. Of course, our United Nations has clearly defined the 17 goals in the title of SDG. that is Sustainable Development Goals. They have circulated the whole nations in 2015, alarming that global warming is really a serious issue. And they have requested all the world countries to follow these guidelines to adopt these kind of goals, Sustainable Development Goals in the name of Kyoto Protocol in 2015 and in the name of another Kyoto Protocol version 2. So they have circulated all the world nations, but in this 17 SDGs, electric vehicle and the solar energy and the electric vehicle charging station through renewable resources are the main key elements of this SDG, which is issued by the United Nations. So as I said, electric vehicle is already 30 years old. It has been designed and developed, and of course, Ford has come up with very beautiful ideas. Only because of Rudolf Diesel came and explored the Middle East and invented this diesel and petrol, the crude oil. So somebody has invented the IC engine. So business-wise, it was so successful, but environmental-wise, it is a failure project. IC engine is a failure project, and thermal power station is a failure project because it blows the air. See, we have a serious problem. You know well that like before 2 years back in Antarctica, you could have seen some lakhs and lakhs of penguins are died due to the melting of ice in Antarctica and Arctic. And of course, obviously, it will increase the sea level. Even today, this afternoon also in BBC, they said in the Indian subcontinent, what all the cities will sink in next 25 years. Of course, Chennai and Thoothukudi in Tamil Nadu will definitely sink in 25 years of time. At least some 3-4 kilometers coastal it comes inside. It is not a nature, it is a man-made problem. So we have, in the name of engineering, technology and science, and we have spoiled the climate of this earth. We are unable to keep the earth green. So it is better to go for an alternate energy. It is better to go for alternative technology. So IC engine, of course, IC engine is not that much efficient when compared to electric vehicles. Especially I have seen in Shimla, I worked in various projects in electric vehicles. I have seen in Shimla, see, it is like Ooty. If you see Metropolitan to Ooty, it is around 50 kilometers. But whereas in Shimla, from Chandigarh to Shimla, it is more than 90 kilometers, where a lot of electric buses are running. When compared to IC engine buses, the efficiency, the torque, and the other robustness is excellent. Of course, I have seen many times in the roads between Chandigarh and Shimla and Metropolitan to Ooty. If the bus is overcrowded, the driver and the conductor, they will ask them to get down because it won't climb. But whereas in case of electric vehicle, it will climb just like that. I myself have seen in Shimla. Of course, in Tamil Nadu, we are so late. But in Shimla in 2015 itself, the electric buses are launched by the Tata and other NPIF put-on companies. There are so many companies in Indian-made electric buses are already available, already launched. Already it is running in Delhi and in Punjab and Lucknow, in many places for the past 5 years. And types of electric vehicles, these are the types. Maybe it is good for the academics, but hybrid electric vehicles, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles, it is, of course, before 20 years, this was good, but it is now obsolete. This technology is obsolete. There is no hybrid electric vehicle nowadays in the market. There is no plug-in hybrid electric vehicles. Absolutely, in the market right now, it is battery electric vehicles. Absolutely, 100% battery operated electric vehicles. Of course, the cost has come down. The technology has become very easy, and the viability of electric vehicle is also excellent. So these are all the kinds of electric cars, like a hydrogen-based fuel cell by the Honda, and the solar racer by Gangaru electric vehicle in Australia, and hybrid vehicles from Tata. Like there are so many electric cars are available, but as far as India is concerned, our Mahindra is playing a very good role. Even in electric locomotives, there is a Ballard company in US. They are running electric trains. Of course, our locomotives are electric only. I mean, for the past 25 to 30 years, We are running our Indian electric locomotives are a diesel, it is not a diesel locomotive, it is electric. Wherever you see the unwired turbines on the top of the railway lines, that is electric engine only. Absolutely, it runs a DC motor in the front side of the engine. So golf carts are already available, forklifts and buses and nuclear submarines, elevators, boats. There are so many electric vehicles have come to this world more than it is 20 years. So likewise, what is the difference between electric vehicle versus conventional vehicles? See, in conventional vehicle, it is having thousands of spare parts. It has got a lot of maintenance. It has got a lot of expenditure, no? Like operational expenditure of a conventional vehicle is more. Whereas in electric vehicle, it's only 4 spare parts like motor, controller, battery, and the complete mechanical system and subsystem. Whereas in case of IC engine, it has got more than hundreds and hundreds of spare parts, and it requires a lot of maintenance. It requires a lot of operational expenditure, oil changing. There are so many things. Whereas if you compare with the conventional with the electric, conventional, I mean, diesel and petrol vehicle will take your money out of your pocket. Say, for example, if you purchase a 5 lakhs rupees of a car, if it is a petrol or diesel, in 5 years of time, you could have spent around 6 to 7 lakhs of gasoline. You could have spent money for these gases like petrol or diesel. But whereas in case of electric vehicle, it will earn money for you. Suppose if you buy a 10 lakhs of car, or if you buy a 1.5 lakhs of two-wheeler, or if you buy a 3 lakhs of three-wheeler of a commercial vehicle, an auto driver will take back the money within 1 year or within 2 years. But whereas the same auto driver, if you buy the electric instead of electric vehicle, if you buy the diesel auto or petrol auto, the same cost 2.5 lakhs to 3 lakhs, the same cost available in electric vehicle also. So this 2.5 to 3 lakhs, if you will have to repay for 5 years, because every day he has to spend 500 rupees to 700 rupees for the diesel and petrol. Whereas in case of electric vehicle, he has to spend only 10 rupees or 20 rupees or maximum 50 rupees. In case of in case of domestic, he will spend only 20 rupees. In case of commercial tariff, he has to spend only 50 rupees. So again, in case of solar, he is spending 0 rupees. Suppose if he is running his auto rickshaw by solar charging station, or suppose if a two-wheeler consumer, charging the two-wheeler by solar charging, so he is having 0 energy cost. So he will take back the money. Every day, electric vehicle earns the money back, and every day, petrol and diesel vehicle will make you to spend the money. So this is the basic difference between electric and of course, it has got a very less maintenance expenditure comparing to diesel and petrol because of only 4 spare parts or 5 spare parts. There is no much complication also. Of course, electric vehicle, as far as you are thinking is concerned, it's not a big rocket science. Any person who has qualified SSLC or school dropouts, they will be able to manufacture the electric vehicle in two-wheeler and three-wheeler, especially. Four-wheeler and buses and heavy duty and some advanced special purpose electric vehicles and all, it requires some engineering knowledge, especially for two-wheeler, especially for three-wheeler, especially for licensed free electric vehicles. A person who can school dropout can start his own manufacturing. There is no big rocket science. But the thing is, a simple thing, which is, for example, a simple DC motor, a simple BLDC motor, it is not available in Indian brand. That is the worrying scenario of India, because we have IITs and we have world-class private universities and private reputed institutions. And I am sorry to say, our professors are failing to invent some simple things for electric vehicle. Still, India is buying, India is importing some important spare parts from Korea, from Taiwan, from Japan, from Germany, and from China. But these things are not procured from the Indian industries. It means the professors across this country working in higher education institutions not properly concentrating the research on these basic things. For example, I can tell you certain things. Yeah, I can tell you certain examples. Say, for example, a simple controller, a DC motor controller. The cost of a small DC motor controller to manufacture is only 100 rupees to 200 rupees. But India is importing from China, Taiwan for, I'm talking about a two-wheeler controller for 500 rupees or 300 rupees or even, see, additional 200 rupees extra. So if you do it on our own, it is possible to do it. See, I have not seen any people who is doing research on this, how to manufacture this, how to produce entrepreneurs on this. Even I can say a lot of examples. It is even say a small DC motor, say for example, permanent magnet DC motor, with a small BLDC motor, it is not available made in India. We are still importing from foreign countries. I'm talking about, say, for a small cycle, to retrofit a small cycle. The small 24 volt to 250 watts of permanent magnet DC motor or BLDC motor is enough. And the cost of this manufacturing is not more than 1,000 to 1,500 rupees. But it is available in international market for 3,000 rupees, 2,500 rupees. We are buying from the foreign countries. See, look at India is one of the largest two-wheeler consumers, like Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These 5 countries are the largest two-wheeler consumers. So we can still do that. Still in India, the electric vehicle of especially two-wheeler bicycle is available imported model only, not Indian model. Even they say Indian model, so the components inside that Indian model in Make in India model is Chinese imported components or some other country from Taiwan or somebody else. But if the professors from the reputed institutions like IIT and some of the private reputed institutions, they come forward for manufacturing, or they can transform their students as an entrepreneur to manufacture this kind of small motors, small controllers. Even mechanical engineers, still we are not doing the differential gear, especially for the, as a traction drive in the rear wheel, especially for 3-wheeler and 4-wheeler, still we are importing. Of course, we have people of knowledgeable people, of course, worldwide, the extreme world-class knowledge is available in India, but the worry part is that we are not able to manufacture. Somebody is manufacturing, and we are buying. So this is to be stopped. Otherwise, what will happen in electric vehicle technology? It is a 20 lakh crore business every year. If you are not doing this, some foreign country will take this business. They will come here and they will do the business, and we will still work as an employee to them. So what I would emphasize, we should transform our students as not only the employee of electric vehicle industries, we should also transform our students as the electric vehicle entrepreneurs, electric vehicle spare parts entrepreneurs, electric vehicle accessories entrepreneurs. We should transform. Otherwise, this 20 lakh crore will be taken by the foreign countries. So it is a responsibility. Professors should take the responsibility. And already, of course, I have already transformed more than hundreds of young graduates, polytechnic students, and even school dropouts as the manufacturers of electric vehicles, manufacturers of spare parts. I already done it in Lucknow. I have done it in Chandigarh. I have done it in Delhi. So now I have taken this question in Tamil Nadu. So I am planning to produce more entrepreneurs in southern India. So polytechnic students, those who are hearing this, please contact me. I will transform you as an excellent entrepreneur, which will fetch you like 2 lakhs per month in the first. After 6th month, in the 7th month onwards, I can give you guarantee. I can give you a challenge that I can transform you to earn 2 lakhs per month from the electric vehicle entrepreneurship activities or startup or whatsoever. Okay. So this air pollution in India. See, look at this IC engine is a major element to produce more carbon dioxide and carbon monoxides. Once we go for electric vehicle on our Indian roads, this air pollution is drastically down. See, I was staying in Delhi. I stayed in Lucknow and Agra. I have seen all the air quality index. It was very deadly, very dangerous. Normally 80 to 100 air quality index is itself a danger. But I have seen a danger point in Delhi, it is 400. I have seen 400 air quality index. I have seen 250 air quality index in Bangalore. In Chennai, I have seen 120 air quality index. If you see the meteorological data, you will be able to see. See Lucknow, Agra, now it is more than 350. So it will definitely see the person who is living in this high air quality index city, the lifetime, like 10 years will be reduced, and they will face a lot of consequences like respiratory problems. It is more deadlier than the COVID virus. On account of reducing air pollutions across our country, it is immediately we should transfer, we should transform, we should adopt electric vehicle technology at the earliest. Of course, the cost of the electric vehicle at present is very high, and in due course, maybe in 1 year of time, in 2 years of time, definitely the cost will drastically reduce. I would challenge that the cost will reduce more than 40% from the existing cost. So only thing is we have to wait till the technology develops. Still more the technology to be developed. Technology in the sense, everything to be designed and developed and tested and demonstrated to be Indian, in Indian only. See, there should be 100% Indian made electric bicycle. It should be 100% Indian made electric car, 100% Indian made. Of course, we can give outsource. We can give, see, for example, we can still buy China, but we should give the technology to them. See, this is the motor. We want to manufacture this motor. This is the technology. So if you manufacture this motor for electric bicycle, the cost is 1,500 rupees. Can you do it for 900 rupees? Like that, we can go for a trade. Now it is reverse. We are buying 2,500 rupees a motor from China. So this is the situation. So more money will go abroad countries. If we do it on our own, we can have our own money. So air pollution. See, road transports across the country, we have crores and crores of lorries and buses are running. Of course, lorries are more running, and of course it produces huge carbon. Of course, using the Tesla technology, Tesla has given the patent free of cost to the world countries. Anybody can take that, and using Tesla technology, so one can run the heavy duty vehicles like lorries and trucks and buses and even trains. Even I did one project in it is a 15,000 HP tank, military defense tank. You have seen Arjuna tank and other Garuda tanks are there for the defense. In Hyderabad, we did this project because the military has, spent a lot of money for training their soldiers, especially in Rajasthan deserts. They take some 500 tanks and they train them, because even though there is no war, it is mandatory to train our soldiers. For that, they spend a huge amount of diesel. For that, see that tank will consume maybe around 50 liters for 1 kilometer. So we have given an idea, and we have taken some components from Tesla, and we have inducted this interface. This is one of the tanks. Of course, it is a confidential project. Even I'm not supposed to tell, but since it is an academic, students are there, I can tell, but partially I can tell, not in depth. So it is a successful, and they have a plan to implement this, which will reduce us 10,000 crore in the defense budget, because the huge amount of diesel is being spent. See, likewise, the professors can think about, and they can give solutions to the students. Instead of talking about research, instead of talking about research papers, instead of talking about something high-tech advanced research, it is better to discuss with our students what is the commercial applications, where commercially it will hit. Because in electric vehicle, there are so many products India is required. India is a huge populated country. So as you all know, the vehicle technology is very simple technology. It is simply having a battery, and of course, it is a toy motor. It is a toy motors. We have to our kids, we purchase a toy, a wireless toy and electric battery toy. The same technology exists in electric vehicle. Only thing is that is a small car, it is a big car. That is not having a controller, this is having a controller. So controller is a simple MOSFET technology or IGBT technology, which you have all electrical students could have studied. There is no much rocket science in this. There is no much research is in that. Already sufficient amount of research has been done, and sufficient amount of papers has been done. The only part is innovations to be done. research to be stopped, innovations to be done. Higher education institution should focus their students to do some innovations on electric vehicle technology. See, research professors can do, but innovation students can do. Say, for example, our farmer is requiring electric tractor. Electric tractor, one can design an electric tractor for 2 lakhs and 3 lakhs or even 5 lakhs. The existing diesel tractor costs more than 10 lakhs. So this is innovation. This is not invention. Likewise, JCB is record. See, a farmer is spending too much of money. For example, a farmer is having a 1 hectare of land. It is approximately 2.5 acres. He spends approximately like 50,000 rupees to 75,000 rupees per year for his agricultural purpose, especially he used for JCB machines. You know, the cost of the JCB machine is 25 lakhs. So that is why he is paying huge rent. But the same JCB machine can be retrofitted into electric, where we should teach our students how to retrofit this JCB into electric. Instead of focusing on research on MOSFETs, instead of focusing on research on motors, instead of we can also do this kind of innovations. Or you can teach students to how to develop the electric JCB. See, I have personally developed one small JCB. So it less than 50,000 rupees. I have developed one small JCB. It is, but of course, it is not equivalent of 25 lakhs JCB. I just for a demonstration purpose. But I have seen one person in Dindigul, and he has developed a JCB. He is not even well qualified. Please, my dear students, please keep this in your mind. He is not even well qualified. He is only the fabricator of a tractor trailer. So I have given a simple idea to him before 2 years, and now he is able to start manufacturing his own electric JCB. So he is about to sell it like 2 to 3 lakhs. He is about. I think he is selling now. So likewise, I produced so many entrepreneurs across the country. So to become an entrepreneur in electric vehicle, there is no need of a person should have an electrical engineering degree or diploma or research. There is no need. Anybody can come inside this business. Of course, industry may have a restrictions, like you should have a diploma, or you should have a degree, or you should have a research. But whereas to become an entrepreneur, there is no restrictions. You can start your own electric vehicle manufacturing. I can give you challenge. I can give all my patents free of cost to those who become entrepreneurs, no matter whatever the qualification is. So electric vehicle technology is very simple. It has a motor, battery, controller, and transmission, some mechanical transmission. That's all. Any small school children can understand this, and they can do wonders in this. And regenerative braking is one of the very important concepts, where whenever you apply brake, in case of diesel vehicle, you lose the petrol and diesel fuel. But whereas in case of electric vehicle, whenever you apply brake, you will gain some energy. I don't want to go inside in depth in technology. You just Google search what is regenerative braking, you will understand very easily. Well, so these are all the Indian-made vehicles. Of course, we have to say great salute to Mahindra and Tata. In spite of they manufacture Indian-made vehicles like small sized car, which E2O costs around 5 to 6 lakhs, and electric cargo van is around 9 lakhs, and high-speed auto rickshaw around 3.6 lakhs. E-Verito car is approximately 11 lakhs, and other 25 km/h speed auto rickshaw, it costs around 1.9 lakhs. Of course, this is available inside the market right from 3 years back. It is not in this year onwards, like 3 to 4 years back itself, they have released all these products. It is available. Of course, in India, these vehicles are running for the past 5 years. But only in Tamil Nadu, the permission is given only this year only. So it is slowly it will come. So in spite of they have an Indian made, but inside the controller, the motor, it may be a BLDC motor, or it may be a TMSM motor, or it may be SRM motor, or maybe induction motor. So the motors are present, we are not having. There is no company. Of course, we have a company to manufacture induction motor, but we don't have a company to manufacture induction motor for electric vehicle, because the induction motor for electric vehicle is totally different from a conventional induction motor. So likewise, there are so many things to be developed in India, so that See, this is one of the reasons. See, people are telling why electric vehicles are expensive because all imported components are sitting inside. So if it is indigenous components are sitting inside, absolutely the vehicle cost will come down up to 40%. There is no doubt about it. And there is a one reason why electric vehicles are very expensive. The second reason is there is no competition. There is no competitors. Say, for example, only across, see, we have 1.3 billion people and we have more than 10 to 20 crores of two-wheeler alone. I mean, 10 crores of old two-wheeler and another 10 crores of new two-wheelers are running across the country. So for this, we need thousands and thousands of industries. But at present, we have only some 10 to 20 industries, branded industries, and another 25 industries as non-branded industries, especially for electric vehicle two-wheeler is concerned. So our Modi government has giving a lot of boost to electric vehicles. Especially, they have reduced the GST from 12% to 5%, and of course, they have given a lot of incentives. Especially, there are some ministries, Ministry of Industry and Commerce and Ministry of Finance has introduced the FAME2 model, especially for second branded vehicles, which is very highly, quality wise and component wise, quality wise. And the standard, if they follow the AIS standard, they give RI certification, they have ICAT certification. RI means Automotive Research Authority of India. ICAT means International Automotive Technology, something, International Center for Automotive Technology. So these are all the Government of India agency, which comes under the Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. And this approved, I mean, especially any roads run on any vehicle that runs on the road, which is to be approved by these agencies. And then if there is having a high standard, high quality, and it is coming under the category of FAME, and these categories, their subsidy is available. For example, two-wheeler, you get a subsidy of up to 30,000 rupees. And for three-wheeler, you can get a subsidy of 2.5 lakhs. Sorry, for three-wheeler, you can get subsidy up to 60,000 rupees. In case of car, electric car, you will get a subsidy of 2 to 2.5 lakhs. In case of buses, you will get a subsidy of more than 30 lakhs. So these are all the things which is announced by the present government. And look at this slowdown continuing, like Maruti, Hyundai, all automobile manufacturers from July 18, July 19, they stopped the manufacturing of IC engine based vehicles. They will slowly go for electric vehicles. So I would say that solidly, like a huge opportunity for electrical engineers, mechanical engineers, and automobile engineers, and of course electronics and communication engineers, electronics and instrumentation engineers, even production engineering technology. All this is related to electrical, mechanical, electronics, instrumentation. All these engineers, no matter whether it is a diploma holder or a degree holder, you have a tremendous bright future, bright scope if you learn the electric vehicle technology thoroughly. Like electric vehicle technology, to learn, not very simple thing. Like only 4 spare parts, you can do it on your own. There are do-it-yourself kits are available, so you can buy it and you can learn it. And also more focus on innovation, more focus on business side, commercial sides. See, look at this electric three-wheelers from the here. I would like to show one of the components. See here, I just see, I mean, I will show you some of the economics. I have produced a lot of entrepreneurs in especially in Bhopal and Lucknow. It is not entrepreneurs, it is a self-employment scheme. I have done some self-employment scheme. We have purchased some vehicle, it's a cost of 1,60,000 rupees. And we have given this through the Mudra loan. We identified one auto driver. So in his name, we have taken a Mudra loan, and he has purchased this vehicle for 1.6 lakhs. It is a L3 category and L5 category, which is a medium scale, approximately 35 kilometers. And per day he runs for 120 kilometers. So per year he is earning 5,40,000 rupees. This is the earning, net earning. So per month he is earning 45,000 rupees. See, this much earnings are there for one vehicle. This is the scenario I am showing you. in 2018. 2018-19, I have done this project. But now the earnings are little less because more competition, because more people have come. So now the earnings are reduced maybe around 10% or 20%. So a person who, an auto driver who invests in electric vehicle technology, say about 1.6 lakhs. Now the vehicle cost, the same vehicle cost is 1.9 lakhs. 30,000 is increased because of the basic commodity prices are increasing. So 1.9 lakhs, he or she can earn approximately not less than 40,000 rupees. So he will be able to repay it within 6 months. So it is a very good business. So as a student, as an engineer, as an entrepreneur, what you can do, you can start a transport fleet services business. Say for example, you can register your own company like Ola, like Uber. See, Ola and Uber are big players. They have thousands and thousands of vehicles. You do the same business like what Ola and Uber. You have a 10 vehicles. You purchase 10 vehicles. You have your own office. You appoint 10 drivers. You give a appoint 10 drivers and ask them to on the road. So it is a very good business. You invest for 10 vehicles, this only 20 lakhs, and you can keep on taking earnings per month, not less than 4 lakhs per month earnings. See, no multinational company, I will tell you, my dear students, no multinational, even vice chancellor of a university, I am working with a private university, I know very well, even a vice chancellor of university is not getting 4 or 5 lakhs per month salary. Whereas an entrepreneur, a student like you, who is so vibrant, who is having so much of confidence, if you come up as an entrepreneur, if you invest just 20 lakhs, of course, in CGT MSc scheme, Government of India is giving in startup loan. I mean, like 3 years moratorium period and no collateral security, they will give you just like that. You take the loan. Just having 10 vehicles, it will fetch you around 4 to 5 lakhs per month earning. So in 6 months, you repay it. And after 7th month onwards, you are the king for 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs per month. I'm talking about including an operational expenditure of driver salary. So I can give you a very clear, detailed project report. So I can even train you how to do this business, how to do technological things, how to troubleshoot problems in electric vehicle, what all the equipments is required, what all the spares is required, how to replace it, what are the automobile things to be known. Everything I can train you if you are ready to do this business. I am sure that you will take 4 to 5 lakhs per month in this business. This is I would like to tell you very clearly for my dear students, those who want to become entrepreneurs. Of course, if you become entrepreneur, you will provide employment opportunity for 10 drivers, and you will provide employment opportunity for 1 manager. You can as usual, you can go to job. You can go to Australia. You can go to US. You can go to UK. Anywhere you can go. You can operate the business over phone. We have a GPS system in the vehicle. We have a telemetry software. By sitting at home, you can do this business. You don't have to go. Even you don't have a commercial complex. You don't have to have a commercial office. You just you can run a virtual office. You buy a vehicle and appoint people, and you have one small troubleshooting engineer, resident engineer. Whenever problem comes, you ask them to troubleshoot. There is no need of any very big machineries and other things to troubleshoot this kind of vehicles. We have successfully done it in Lucknow and many places. Even in Tamil Nadu also, we are doing it. If those who are interested, you please contact me. I will take you to the place where people are doing this successfully. You can witness this and you will see how much they are earning. They are earning a very good amount. Even at the age of 50 years old, 60 years old, people are not earning 5 lakhs per month from the employer, unless otherwise you become a CEO of a company. Well, this is what I would like to emphasize, and I would like to tell you a few more opportunities. So here, if you really want to go for a high-tech business, or if you really want to take a business, very good employment in electric vehicle industry. So as a student, where are all you have to concentrate? See, you concentrate. See, maybe your syllabus may not be having this kind of subjects. Maybe you don't have an expert inside your institution, or maybe your professor may not having these kind of knowledges. Don't blame them. Don't blame the institution. You yourself study on your own. Where the cell manufacturing, especially like battery packs, how do they manufacture battery, lithium-ion battery? How do they manufacture the cells? It is very, very simple to manufacture a battery pack. If time permits, you do one experiment. You have any old laptop in the laptop battery, unused, like waste laptop battery, you break it and see. That is a lithium battery. You see that how the battery is being soldered. The same way the electric vehicle batteries are manufactured. It's very simple. I have seen in Delhi, all big electric vehicle lithium-ion battery manufacturers, like normal ITI and diploma holders are inside the factory manufacturing, and very few engineers are supervising. So either you can become an engineer in the company, or you can start manufacturing on your own. Like charging infrastructure, you can start manufacturing your chargers. It is a small charger, like a small half-wave, full-wave bridge rectifiers based. Like even SMPS chargers are there, like MOSFET-based chargers are there. See, everything is available in your library, in your website, in your excellent websites. You can have it. And of course, if you're a software engineer, if you want to do something software in electric vehicle, so what you can do, you can write a telemetry software. Telemetry software, it is linked with the GPS of an electric vehicle, so that you can perform an e-logistics. So wherever we set up this kind of e-logistics, we have developed this telemetry software. So what this software does, by sitting at home, you'll be able to control these vehicles. I mean, you can switch on the vehicle, you can switch off the vehicle, you can see vehicle is running in which speed, you can see whether the driver is parking the vehicle or it is running the vehicle. Even you can see whether the vehicle is loaded or not loaded, because there is a phone sensor in the vehicle, and that transmits the data whether the vehicle is loaded or not loaded. You understand? So this is what telemetry software. If you're a software engineer, you can do one more thing, that is app-based software. Like Ola and Uber, they are putting a software. You can develop the app, and that can be disseminated to a small electric vehicle transport operators, those who are having 10 vehicles or 20 vehicles, or somebody is having 100 vehicles also. In Chennai, I have seen many people are running auto rickshaw, diesel and petrol, 100 autos, 100 petrol autos are so many people are having. Likewise, the same people become electric autos they have in the future. So to those people, you can write an app-based software for electric vehicle booking, like booking. They can book loader vehicle, they can book passenger. Even you can write a software for electric taxi also. So these are all the things you can do, and you can go for your own charging station, solar powered charging station. It is also a good business. Or you can go and join in a charging, Exicom. There are so many great companies in Hyderabad where world-class chargers, EV chargers are manufacturing. Of course, it is embedded system-based charging. EV, they used to say EVSE, electric vehicle supply equipments. So these are all the things. See, these knowledges we should have, because I know well that India is not revising syllabus. I'm still seeing in electrical science, they still say reading about 3-point starter and very old technology. There is no need. So the syllabus to be revised. See, the world goes in a faster, in a rapid speed. The same way, the engineering also, Indian engineering education academies also should transform. We should keep on changing our courses. We should keep on changing our syllabuses. We should, like at least every 4 years it is to be revised. So anyway, it is an education system, and the Ministry of Education will take care of this. This is my suggestion. And what I request, my dear professors, you kindly do some homework at home. If you really want to teach something to your students, you please do some homework and teach them. Because you can learn very well, since the professors are very experienced and very knowledgeable. I have seen all professors in Tamil, especially Tamil Nadu, very knowledgeable professors. Only thing is the system. It may be a management, or it may be a government system like AICTE, NAC, or whatever it is. I am seeing, of course, I'm also in academics for the past 18 years. But not 100% academic. I'm something like academic and non-academic, like technical projects and innovations. So I have seen many professors are spending too much of time in clerical works on doing this NAC and all. So it is better to concentrate more on research, doing some innovations, help students. You try your level best to do this. I have seen tremendous knowledge with Tamil Nadu professors and Kerala professors, where you can learn so many greatest things and you can transform your students as world class. I'm really telling, when comparing to North India, of course, North Indian professors also good, but I am seeing, because I worked across the country, many states and many, what I observed in South India, really the professors and the students are really having tremendous knowledge. You can really do wonders. So this is what I would really emphasize. And what else? Yeah, see, these are all the vehicles. I myself become a consultant to various companies across the country. See, this is one of the picture where I am staying. It's a Sarthi electric auto rickshaw. It is a high-speed electric auto rickshaw. It runs by 60 km/h speed with the 3+1 passenger and the 4+1 passenger, and 6+1 passenger is also available. It is Indian made, however, the components inside is imported. And one more thing I would like to say. See, this is the charging station. See, Tesla charging station. This is Bharat DC charging station for the electric vehicle. So of course, it is not a world standard. Our charging station looks in a different way, but purpose will be solved. Tesla charging station will be very expensive. So we can have our own, but the happy news is that we are able to produce our own charging station, even though the components inside is imported. But what I would suggest is, the inside components are the engineer's duty. So engineers can come up with the research or developing a new components. We can produce our students as an entrepreneur to produce their own components. So like entrepreneurs are not only in electric vehicle manufacturing, electric vehicle accessories manufacturing, like transformers, like motors, like controllers, like own batteries. There are so many things can be manufactured in electric vehicle. So I myself have designed and developed so many low-cost licensed vehicles. So this is what I'm telling. Electric vehicle means, don't simply think that it is a two-wheeler and a three-wheeler and four-wheeler and bus. It's not like that. I already told you, electric tractor can be done, electric JCB can be done, electric tiller can be done, electric mini rotavator can be done. Electric harvester can be done. There are thousands of electric vehicles of different variants can be done in electric vehicle segment. Say, for example, look at these vehicles. These vehicles are already available in the market. Like four-wheel push car, the four-wheel push car with rooftop, three-wheel passenger rickshaw, the front load, rear load, like mean body like fish carrying vehicle, garbage carrying vehicle, physically challenged people, and rear carrying vehicle, ice cream carrying vehicle, gas cylinder vehicle. Lot of vehicles already running. Already it is available in the market. So what you can do is, you can retrofit a small motor in this with a gear system. So in Coimbatore, I will tell you, there is one, I really salute that person, Bharat Electric Motors. He is not even engineering qualified, he is only diploma qualified. And he has started his own DC motor manufacturing company. And he is manufacturing DC motor very nice. But he is not able to sell it. But he is having his own market. But these motors, you can purchase some motors from them with the gears he is manufacturing. So you can interface those motors in these vehicles, and you can start. You can be a manufacturer. You take one thing, say for example, passenger model rickshaw. You interface a small motor, and you can start manufacturing. It doesn't require license. It doesn't require any, Ministry of Road Transport approval. It doesn't require any kind of insurance because it works only less than 20-25 km/h speed. So you can start manufacturing like this. You can focus. I'm just giving ideas only. Of course, I myself have done many things with with my students in the previous universities. Especially for physically challenged people, we did some 100 vehicles. For bicycle, we did some 200 numbers, especially for a loader for the corporate, we have done some 100 numbers in Lucknow, in Agra. All people, like students only have done this. I transformed the students to do it from their own laboratories. Of course, every higher education institution has got lathe and other machine tools. So you can make use of that to manufacture all these things. So slowly, higher education institutions think about starting your own innovation incubation center of manufacturing this kind of products through your students. I will definitely help you in this regard. Okay, well, next is like, see, electric vehicles manufacturing. See, look at this scale. This much vehicles, we have to manufacture. Then only we can transform the whole country. So what I'm trying to say here is, better more focus on to be a best employer or to be a best employee with reference to electric vehicle and its allied industries. More scope is there. Of course, I already told you. And recent survey said it is a 27 lakh crore, 27 lakh crore business is existing in electric vehicle business, and India alone, I'm telling. And what else? Yeah, see, one small example I would like to show you here. See, you look at these two slides. Across our country, we have 48 transport corporations. In Tamil Nadu also, we have 4-5 transport corporations in Coimbatore, something like that. So likewise, across the country, we have 48 transport corporations. So you look at this, the last column, every transport corporation undergo loss. What it shows. It doesn't mean that the engineers or drivers are working in this corporation or transport corporation or having less knowledge. It is not like that. It means that the fuel cost, the maintenance cost, the operational expenditure cost. Say, for example, if we take, say, I will take it to the Tamil Nadu Transport Corporation. See, in 2008, it is lakhs. It is in lakhs. The figure is in lakhs. 28,365 lakhs loss. That is 28 crores. So this much lakhs is lost. This much crores is lost every year. So what does it mean? It means they spend more money for diesel. They spend more money for operational expenditure, maintenance, periodic and preventive maintenance. So this figure, see, I have taken this figure through RTI from Ministry of Road Transport in 2020. Last year only I have taken this. The reason why I am showing this data, this clearly shows that there is no other option to go further for the world itself. I'm telling, not only for India, there is no other option. The same thing will happen for the globe also. So we must go to electric vehicle. There is no other option. So definitely, see, for example, these people, if they go for electric buses, for example, our Tamil Nadu State Transport Corporation having 40,000 buses running across the Tamil Nadu state. Collectively, it is having some say about 50 to 60,000 crore loss every year. It is accumulated loss every year. The lakhs of crores is accumulated. Since it is a government organization, they are managing. But one fine morning, it will bankrupt. One day they will close down, or one day they will hand over to the private people. So here, my suggestion is, here, with this transport corporation, of course, it's not only my suggestion, already intelligent people are sitting in government, they will definitely think about this. If they go for all the 40,000 buses, electric buses, and this 40,000 crore, 50,000 crore loss will take it back. So I will suggest my dear students, you try to study about how to do something electric vehicle bus related projects, because besides 40,000 buses in Tamil Nadu, there are some 10,000 to 15,000 buses. It is in the private people. So you can contact some private people, or you can study about the electric buses and what is pros and cons and what best you can do, what kind of project you can do. What is, so for example, I can give you some small idea. See, one can design and develop a solar powered air conditioning for the electric bus. one can develop a complete, like a dual battery bank system for the bus, so that the bus will run. At present, the bus runs for only per charge 300 kilometers. If you go for a dual battery pack system, whatever the regenerative braking comes, it will directly goes to the auxiliary battery, not the main battery. So in that case, this 300 kilometer mileage will increase to 400 kilometers. And one can develop a induction based charging, not conduction based charging. Conduction based charging is a wired charging. Induction based charging is a wireless charging. A bus go and stop in the bus stop. Underneath of a bus stop, you can have a primary core, and in your bus you can have a secondary core. The bus stands there for few minutes, say for example, some 3 minutes or 5 minutes. So in 5 minutes, some 5% charge will be wirelessly transmitted to the bus. And even you can incorporate more solar modules also, which will transfer your auxiliary battery. So for example, if the bus travels from Metropolitan to Coimbatore, it has 20 stops. 20 into 5, it is 20 into 5, 100 minutes of charging. Approximately, the bus is charging 100%, the bus will be charged 40% from solar, 60% from your induction charging. So these kind of innovation, see, I never say these are all research. This is innovation. This is not research. This is not coming under research. This is innovation. It is a development, because already wireless charging is there for the cell phones. For many various things, like Klystron based charging, everything is available in the world market. So you can design and develop a small indigenously wireless based charging for the buses. So you can submit this report to the government, and you can submit to DSD, you can submit to ASD, they will fund you, or you can even submit to me, I will fund you. You understand? So likewise, you start thinking about it. See, I am absolutely, now I am a businessman. I am very soon, I will be relieving myself from the academics. So you please, young students, young professors, you just think about it and come forward with beautiful innovative ideas. So I would like to say something for the higher education institutions, especially professors and PG students. You can take some consultancy work, or you can set up your own electric vehicle technology. You can do some fundraising activity. I can help you in this regard. So very simple thing I'll tell you. What a higher education institution can set up a small electric vehicle technology laboratory, electric vehicle solar-based charging station technology you can set up, and the higher education sector can start conducting a value-added courses inside your campus, and it will generate some funds. And these funds, you can use it for research purpose, you can use it for your innovation purpose, you can give to the students to develop something. And these funds can be either raised from your internal students or the external participants outside the. Likewise, you can start doing fundraising activities through the electric vehicle technology lab setting up, and you can also do some consultancy with various outside industries. In this regard, I am ready to help to the higher education institutions, professors and management, and even students. And these are all my products. I have done so many things with reference to electric vehicle. I have done some of the experiments. In fact, the top right retrofitting model, I did it in 2004. You could have seen me in 2006. I have given a television interview in Sun TV, which received the IIT Young Scientist Award. It is a retrofitting technology. I have done this. Is just I purchased this vehicle for 2,000 rupees. I have purchased one cell start motor and converted that motor into DC series motor for another 2,000 rupees. And this battery, reconditioned battery, I purchased for 500 rupees. So I just do some kind of small fabrication, some small electrical interconnection. So the vehicle is ready. Just 8,000 rupees, I made this vehicle ready. And I used to go to my, at that time I was a lecturer in one of the engineering college. So I used to go to college with this vehicle. Every day I covered 30 kilometers. I saved, every 30 kilometers, I saved 0.5 to 0.7 liters of petrol. So like this and all, you can do small projects you can do. But I would suggest to incorporate or inject the Indian components, Indian motors. Indian controllers, or you develop your own controller. You have your own battery stack. You understand? No? Like you please contact me. I will give you all the contacts where indigenously batteries are available, where indigenously motors are available, where of course indigenously only one person I know in Tamil Nadu, only Bharat Electric, but rest of the people are trading. But in northern India, there are so many indigenous DC electric motors and BLDC electric motors manufacturers are emerging. One in Gujarat, Rotamag, one in Lucknow, like Alphasign. There are so many coming up. Anything, all these are all startups. They are coming up. Okay, well. So these are all the things. That's all, my dear students. If you want me to continue another session also, I'm ready. But if you want to stop with this, I can answer. I'm ready to answer your questions now. Your questions, please.
Participants are requested to raise question.
So please feel free to ask questions. So I am happy to answer you. We have a strong experience in electric vehicle and its allied industries. Any research question, any innovation and entrepreneurship questions, any basic questions, please go ahead.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I want to make one prototype charger for a
Okay.
two-wheeler,
Okay.
and I want to improve my control technique for the lithium-ion battery.
Pardon?
Lithium-ion battery for a two-wheeler.
Okay.
So, is there any new control technique that decrease the charging time?
Absolutely. There is a technology already. So there is a trickle charging method is there.
Sir, existing battery charger using CCC method at present, as my
Okay.
literature review, but
Mhm.
but existing battery charging technique takes 5 to 6 hours to charge the two-wheeler.
No. Existing charger is in 3 hours it will charge. See, please don't compare with the research papers with the existing commercial product.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Commercial, we are absolutely, we also do research. I also write a lot of papers.
Okay.
And of course, I'm having in-depth knowledge in commercial products also. At present, there is a company in Andhra Pradesh that is Exicom. Maybe you can visit the website, Exicom. And they are India's top EV charging manufacturers. And they have recently launched a charger, which is a slow charger. They say it is a slow charger. Actually, slow charger means it will take 7 hours to 8 hours. They say it is a slow charger, but it charges the vehicle in 3 hours of time.
Okay, sir. Okay.
And they also release a fast charger. It will charge the vehicle in 20 minutes of time.
But that is basically a DC charger.
A DC charger.
Okay, but I want to improve in AC level 2 charger, sir.
See, you can still do it in AC charger. How you can do it? You can introduce a trickle charging method.
Okay.
Trickle charging method in the sense, like, see, for example, here one phenomenon you have to understand. See, charging means what? Flow of electrons.
Yes, sir.
Right? See,
Yes,
what is high speed? I mean, fast charging and fast charging, we used to say DC charging. Slow charging, we used to say AC charging. So in fast charging, the flow of electrons is heavy.
Yes.
For example, 100 Ah battery will receive 100 amps or 200 amps of electron flow. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But in case of AC charging, the electron flow is not more than 50 amps or maybe 25 amps. So that is why it is taking too much of time. So here, again, you can go for, say about, instead of 50 or instead of 200 amps, you can go for a 75 amps or 100 amps. Introduce a trickle charging method. Trickle charging method means like you give some delay on charging. so that heat will dissipate.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
You understand now? So that heat will dissipate. See, the same technique which is used in DC fast charging, the same technique you can use it in AC fast charging also. Only thing is, if you introduce these kind of methods, then you can reduce the price because the DC fast charging price is very expensive.
Okay.
Say for example, 5 kilowatt of this, say for example, 10 kilowatt of DC fast charging costs around 2 lakhs or 1.5 lakh to 2 lakhs. Whereas the same 10 kilowatt of charger for the slow charger, it costs around only 30 to 40,000 rupees.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. But what I would suggest is already in market, fast chargers are available. DC fast chargers are available.
But sir, in India, there are limited sources for that.
That is what instead of developing AC fast charger, it is a better idea to develop a solar powered DC fast charger.
Okay. Okay.
That is a good idea. Where it doesn't require an inverter.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
It doesn't require an inverter because solar is DC, so your battery is also DC.
Okay, sir.
So it is a good idea.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, please go.
Hello.
Yes, sir, audible.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm audible.
Good
Yeah,
afternoon.
please
Good
go.
evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, can you suggest funding agency for EV if we are going for retrofitting of vehicle, means retrofitting of for four-wheeler? So in
Okay.
that case, can you suggest any funding agency that?
See, funding
So,
agency.
please let me
funding
know if
agency
you
is
have-
different, financing agency is different. See, funding agency provide fund for
yes.
doing some research and innovation, and finance agency funds for
yes, sir.
doing some entrepreneur. So you are looking for funding agency or financing agency.
Actually, finance is required. So financing agency,
If you require a financing agency, which state it belongs to?
I'm not getting what, sir?
Which
Pardon?
state? It belongs to which state?
I belongs to Maharashtra.
Exactly. See, what you should do is, you please visit the Maharashtra website, electric vehicle policy. They have released the electric vehicle policy 2020. In electric vehicle
Okay.
policy, they have very clearly given, because this retrofitting is coming under the state policy. It is not coming under central policy.
Okay, okay.
Central government policy will only guide you for manufacturing electric vehicle. And retrofitting electric vehicle is based on the state policy. So in Maharashtra, electric vehicle policy 2020 has been released last year. You take,
yes.
if you don't have, you just write me to my mail ID. I will send you the electric
Okay.
vehicle policy in PDF file. It is 120 pages. In that, they have given a very clear guidelines how to do your retrofitting
Okay.
business. And as far as your financial consultancy is concerned, there are two financial agents across the country. Even
Okay.
though you are from a state, you will approach still central government agency to become yourself a startup. One is IREDA,
IREVA.
Indian Renewable Energy Development Agency.
IREDA.
IREDA, Indian
Okay, okay,
Renewable Energy Development Agency.
Okay.
Okay, these
And
people gives only finance funding only for entrepreneurial activity, not for research and innovation.
Okay.
Okay, and one more agency is called ESSIL.
ESSIL.
Energy Efficiency System India Limited.
Okay. ESSI.
EESIL. I'm sorry,
Okay.
EESIL, Energy Efficient System India Limited. They provide financing for these kind of activities. These people, these both are giving up to 100 crores.
Okay. Okay.
You can think of
Means
both
they are giving for only entrepreneurship, not for research.
They never give for research and innovation. If you want to take research and innovation, you can approach DST, you can approach AICTE, UGC. There are so many funding agencies are there across the country for research, but research funding will not be available not more than few crores.
Okay, okay,
Maybe 1 crore or 50 lakhs or 10 lakhs or 5 crore maximum like that.
okay, okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, welcome.
Sir, one
Any-
more question from Sheetal, Professor.
Yeah,
In
yeah, please.
Gujarat, is there any finance for research regarding EV?
Absolutely, there are a huge amount of money has been allocated for research. There is huge money, especially, but you should concentrate on various ministries, because there is no ministry for electric vehicle industry as on date. Maybe in the future, government of India will think about to launch a new ministry for electric vehicle. As on date, there is no ministry, but as on date, the electric vehicle sector and segments are taken care by various ministries. Say, for example, like Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Power, Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, Ministry of Heavy Industries. Likewise, some 5-6 ministries have taken care of this electric vehicle segment. And these ministry website, there are so many agencies are there, where these agencies are allowing the professors, allowing the educational academicians to do some kind of research, where you can approach these ministries and you can apply for the funds. Say, for example, Ministry of Power, under Ministry of Power, there are some departments where they will provide some research funds for developing a high-speed solar charging station for electric vehicle, or developing a high-tech control system for electric vehicle. Like they are providing some funds. Likewise, you can approach. You can go ahead.
Any more queries, please?
Sir, good evening, sir.
Yes, please. Good evening.
So actually, is there any internship programs regarding the EV organization, sir?
Sir, please.
Sir, little bit louder, sir. Shiva, sir.
Raise your voice.
Sir, actually, is there any internship programs are organized by the India regarding that EV manufacturing or otherwise efficient or performance patterns?
You are from which state?
AP, sir.
AP. See, internship you have to find out on your own with the electric vehicle manufacturers. Government of India is not having any internship program, but Government of India has launched electric vehicle technology, EV charging station technology, and EV maintenance and repair through Ministry of Small, Medium and Micro, Small, Medium Enterprise. Ministry of MSME is there.
Yes, sir.
MSME has launched a 2-day program, 1-week program. You visit Ministry of this ministry website. There is one office in Agra, PGDCA. Otherwise, you contact me. I will send you the link, where they are launching program across the country.
Okay, sir.
2 days weekday program, where you will be able to learn like electric vehicle technology and its concept and business technology, whatever it is, except research. Except the research, you can learn so many things through this MSME, because their prime aim is, their objective is promoting a lot of entrepreneurs in the EV segment. So their teachings, their kind of lectures and all, like how to produce more entrepreneurs in EV segment. Okay, so you can contact them. Even in AP also, in Hyderabad, I have conducted one program on behalf of MSME in 2018.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Sir, can I contact with you regarding this one, sir?
Yeah, definitely. You take the concerned authority of this particular institution. Please talk to them, and through them you can communicate me. So we are happy to serve you.
Thank you, sir.
Any more queries, please?
Students, I want the students to ask more questions.
Sir, only faculty, sir, in this group. Sir,
Only faculties are there, sir.
Oh, students are not there.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, okay. So I thank Indra ma'am and her team hosting a very excellent and extraordinary program. And I thank the management and the Department of Instrumentation and Control Engineering and who has made the brochure? Some genius has made this. It is like a 3D. Appreciate that person who has
Thank you,
made
sir.
this.
Thank you, sir. Thank
It is a 3D, excellent, extraordinary 3D imposing images are there. Very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah.
This
I
practice we
appreciate-
have started from the October onwards, sir. This is our
Oh, great.
8th program, FDP.
Excellent, excellent.
Thank you, sir.
This is a great thing you are doing for the nation. It is a great contribution. Please do such kind of programs.
Sure, sir. Sure.
It will bring awareness for all the people, all the students, faculties, outside participants. So you are helping, contributing for global warming
Sure, sir.
through the FDP. I appreciate all the team members behind this.
Thank you, sir. And
event.
we should say thanks to you, sir, because when I approached you in the last March itself, while
Okay,
applying this proposal, even
Okay.
though you don't know me, but immediately you have accepted and gave a lot of suggestions regarding EV electrical vehicles and how to fund generation with the conversion of these petrol vehicles to electrical engines and all.
Okay.
And due to some administrative effects, we are unable to start right now. But the
Okay.
discussions are going on with our management and head of the department, head of the institution. And
Okay.
somewhere, somehow, definitely we will make it out. So the fruitful way we will do it.
Try to set up, EV technology laboratory,
Yes, sir.
and through that also you can raise some funds.
Yes, sir. Sure.
You can raise some funds. Through the funds, you can do more research activity on. EV.
Sure, sir. Sure.
And also
Because
you
now
can
it
produce
is a
more
workshop
entrepreneurs.
scenario, sir, right now due to this pandemic situation.
Ah.
Somehow we have to inculcate the funds generation
Okay. Okay.
in the point of students, parents, and even institutions.
Yeah.
It's give some path for the institutions.
Yeah. Definitely this EDP programs, like especially because normally what people are thinking, education sector is only giving a theoretical based lecture.
Yes, sir.
So instead of that, if you go for a practical session also, like
Sure.
that will welcome more participants where you can increase your funds.
Yes, seriously, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir, on behalf of
Yeah.
Department College. And we are highly thankful to you, sir.
Yeah. Thank
I
you so
hope
much.
professors in this group have enjoyed this group, I think, this session.
Okay.
Any more questions, please, dear professors, raise your questions. Sir is available with us.
Suppose if they feel hesitation, they can give my number. They can talk
Yes,
to
sir.
me personally.
They already shared in the groups, sir.
They can talk to me
Yes, sir.
because
Yes, sure.
my objective is produce more entrepreneurs on sustainable energy projects.
Sure, sir. Definitely.
That will help India financially, and also that will help the globe environmentally.
Seriously, sir. Right.
We have to be educated people. No, we are highly educated. We should think about something to give a solution for global warming.
Yes, sir. Certainly correct. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you, sir.
once again,
Thank you so
everyone.
much, sir.
Take care.
And
Take care. You.
thank you so much, sir. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you're most welcome. You're most welcome. Bye bye.
Sure.
So I'll
Yes, sir. Thank you,
disconnect
sir.
now.
Yeah. Dear
Thank you, sir.
professors, thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, professors in this group. Tomorrow morning, we will meet by 9:15. Thank you for your all cooperation. I hope you and believe also you people are enjoying the sessions. And tomorrow we have all 3-day sessions. And one is by health, yoga and health also. The next day, 5th day, we have a morning 2 sessions, and afternoon we have an assessment and overall feedback session. And believe that all of you are filling the feedback links. That itself we are considering as attendance also. Many people are posting in the group that where is the attendance link? Attendance we are not maintaining separately. From this feedback itself, we are collecting the attendance and posting also on the Atal web portal. And please cooperate with us. Send attendance link again, madam.
Sure.
Definitely, sir. We will post the feedback link again. And I request all of you to fill the feedback links before going to bed. Yes, day wise, we are uploading the attendance on the web portal. At the end of the day, for generating the certificates, it is mandatory to put the attendance from the coordinator end. So on behalf of the coordinators, we are putting your attendance in the web portal. You can't say in between, sir. At the end of the day, only we can able to see your attendance. Your assessment marks and attendance, everything you will can see at the end of the day only. Now our team is putting again the feedback links. Kindly fill before leaving the session. As we got many requests to put it in the WhatsApp group also, we are doing the same. Kindly extend your support for finishing this FDP in a successful way. Thank you very much.